How you doing? This is a member only video, so I can just get real with you. Just wondering how you're doing. Like, life is getting a little difficult out there. Things are expensive, and I'm a single person. For me to notice, I can't even imagine what people with families are going through with young children, or maybe you're trying to help your elderly parents. Like, how secure is your job? I'm self employed and I definitely don't have as many bookings as I would like. And that's happened before. I'm not really losing sleep over it, but still, it gets you thinking. So, how's your health? Are you taking care of you? Are you taking time for you? How's the health of your loved ones? There just seems to be so much going on now. And here's a question for you. If you're not doing well, how much time are you spending on like social media or even here on YouTube watching the news? Because that can get scary. If there's one thing we have to keep in mind, is I don't think we were designed to be aware of what's going on the entire planet. Think of every generation before the last one or two. You knew what was going on in your community. You knew what was going on in your family. You might know what's going on in the next town or two because you could get there. But you didn't hear about car bombs across the ocean or shootings in another country. Those things were just not on your radar. And now we hear of these things every day, anytime we dare to open social media or, like I said, go on YouTube. It now requires a conscious effort to balance the feather, to make sure that you're taking in as much good as you can. If there's one thing I've really focused on, it is focusing on what I can control. If releasing a video or making a comment or writing a blog post and releasing it can have a positive impact, then I'm going to do that. That's completely within my control. But immersing myself in world issues on something I don't control doesn't. Now, am I going to speak out against the insanity that is Donald Trump and his politics? Absolutely, I am. Only because that's already creeping across the Canadian border. So that has to be shut down. Racism, I don't care who it's directed at, has to be shut down. If you are only shutting down racism when it's directed at your group, that's a problem. So that's as bad as saying nothing. So we got to do better than that. But we have to practice self-care. In my book, The Path, I talked about the 4 sacred or essential tools that I believe you need to bring to every reconciliation conversation, every conversation between two people that want to get along better or two groups that want to get along better in the future. They spelled the word path. P is for patience. Be patient with the person you're trying to engage with. Be patient with yourself. The A is awareness. What is going on in the world of that other person? If there's one thing I'm constantly telling my non-Indigenous corporations that I work with is if the First Nation is in the middle of a suicide epidemic, they're not worried about your deadlines. And you wouldn't be either. So don't judge us, become more aware. The T is for tenacity. Just don't give up. Don't give up. It is worth us learning how to get along together. And the H is for humility. Always be humble. You are an expert of what's going on in your world, and you know nothing about what's going on in the life of the person you're trying to get along with or their group. So listen to them. That's back to back teaching from the get go. So get outside, get some fresh air, eat some good food, laugh with good friends, not at somebody, but over great memories or just utter silliness. I personally love to listen to some great music at decibels that I will not admit to. There are so many things. Just sit and breathe. Read a good book. Watch a good movie. Say a good prayer. There's so many ways to take care of you. My mom used to say, we teach other people how to treat us. How much you love and care for yourself, that is what you're teaching other people, is the standard you accept. If you put yourself last, do not be surprised when everybody else does, because you set the bar. So set the bar. Now I can say that, ha ha ha, I did not turn off my notifications, but I did now, so all good. What was I going to say? We teach other people how to treat us. If you put yourself last, you're going to be last. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was a 10-year domestic abuse survivor. I am a 10-year domestic abuse survivor. And once upon a time, my life was filled with critics and people that ridiculed me for every move I made. It didn't even have to be a wrong move in my eyes. It sure was in theirs. Anything. I was the target. I can tell you with all honesty, not one person like that exists in my world anymore. Because if anyone showed that behavior, and it has happened, someone shows that behavior, they don't get to stay in my world. It is that simple. I can engage with people and not choose to have them as part of my inner circle. And guess what? Not everyone loves me. And that's totally okay too, because I don't look for external validation anymore. I am lovable. I am awesome. I love the woman I've become. And if someone else doesn't, that's okay. They have that right. It doesn't change my value. And someone else not liking you doesn't change your value either. So we're coming into the weekend. I'm wondering what your plans are. I'm wondering where you live, for that matter. What's your weather like? Depending on where you are, is anyone still getting snow? God, I hope no one is getting snow. I know nothing about gardening, but I now live in a house that has a whole bunch of flipping gardens. So I was worried that I wouldn't know what a weed was and what a plant was, like a plant I wanted to keep. And I can tell the difference. I should have just trusted. But this weekend, I've got to do some gardening, because and I got to mow my lawn. Fun. Sarcasm. I don't mind it. And the yard's not that big, but I have gardens I have to clean out. There's stuff growing, which is exciting. If you have any tips, is there a video I should watch? That would be helpful. Want to do some gardening and yard work this weekend. I want to do some reading. I definitely want to get in some exercise. Maybe I might even actually go for a walk outside and not just on my treadmill. Oh, exciting. Everything's done. Like not usually. Yeah, more often than not, though. I will have something left over from the week that kind of trickles into the weekend for me to finish. I don't care. That's the life of the self employed. But everything is done. Everything is scheduled for next week. So I just have a weekend and I want to be outside in the fresh air. I want to be moving my body and not just using my brain. I want to find the balance that I need, and I hope you find the balance you need. So I wanted to do this video today because I'm not talking about political things or not talking about issues, or I'm not ranting. I'm just caring about you. And I hope you're okay. Now, this is a members only video, and I'm not an expert on member only videos. So I'm going to assume if you're a member, you're going to be able to comment. If you're here as a member watching this, could you please just comment and say hi or something so I know if you can comment? Time will tell, I guess. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to do some beading this weekend. That is a beautiful, maybe you should do some crafting, whatever you want to do. For me, great mental reset. That's got to go on the list. Okay, so you take care of you. That is your assignment. Until, if you choose to accept it, please accept it. Take care of you. Until the next member video, I love you. Bye-bye.